What if the very moment life stopped giving you guarantees was actually the moment life started giving you something far more powerful? What if the closed doors, the broken promises, the failed plans, the people who walked away, the opportunities that vanished? What if none of that was punishment? What if all of it was preparation? What if the universe was not destroying your future, but rather stripping away everything weak, everything borrowed, everything that was never truly yours, so that what remained was pure, unbreakable, unstoppable you? What if the guarantee you have been waiting for was never meant to come from outside, but was always sleeping inside you, waiting for you to stop asking for permission and simply begin? Today, I'm going to tell you something that will change the way you see every failure, every rejection, every sleepless night, every empty bank account, every broken dream, because the greatest builders in human history did not build because life was safe. They built anyway. And by the end of this speech, you will never wait for a guarantee again. What if the greatest tragedy of your life is not that you failed, but that you never truly began because you were waiting for a sign, a signal, a guarantee that success was coming? What if the life you dream about, the legacy you imagine, the version of yourself you desperately want to become, was always available to you, but you kept it locked behind the door of certainty that life was never going to open? I want you to sit with that question. I want it to make you uncomfortable because discomfort is not your enemy. It is your invitation. Here is the truth that most people never hear, or if they hear it, they refuse to truly absorb it. Life does not negotiate. Life does not send you a contract in advance. Life does not sit across the table from you, shake your hand, and promise that if you invest your time, your energy, your tears, your sleepless nights, your savings, your reputation, and your absolute best, that it will reward you on a schedule you approve of. Life makes no such deal. And yet, and this is the part that will either destroy you or define you, the greatest human beings who ever walked this earth built their empires, their legacies, their contributions, their masterpieces anyway, not because they had guarantees, but because they had something infinitely more powerful than any guarantee life could ever offer. They had a burning, obsessive, relentless, unquenchable desire. Understand what desire truly means at its deepest level. Not a wish, not a hope, not a passing thought you entertain on a Sunday afternoon when life feels temporarily good. A real desire is a fire that does not go out when it rains. It is not motivation, because motivation is a visitor. Motivation comes and goes depending on your mood, your circumstances, your energy levels, and what people around you said to you this morning. But desire, true desire, is a permanent resident. It lives inside you at 3 in the morning when the world is asleep and you are awake staring at the ceiling wondering if any of it is worth it. And in that moment, genuine desire does not ask whether it is worth it. It simply says, "We continue." This is where most people make the fatal mistake of their lives. They confuse the absence of a guarantee with the absence of possibility. They look at the road ahead, and because they cannot see where it ends, they refuse to walk it. They say, "I will start when I am ready. I will build when I am certain. I will commit when I can see the whole picture." But here is what life never tells you until it is too late. You will never be ready. You will never be certain. And you will never see the whole picture in advance. The picture only reveals itself to those who are already moving. Clarity is not a prerequisite for action. Clarity is the reward for action. Think about every single thing in your life that you are currently grateful for, every relationship, every skill, every small victory, every moment of genuine satisfaction. Every single one of them required you to step into uncertainty. Every single one of them asked you to act before you had all the answers. And yet you did it. You stepped forward. You trusted something you could not yet prove. And that trust, that specific act of moving without a map, was the most powerful thing you ever did. So why have you stopped? Why, in the face of the dream that matters most to you, the one that keeps returning no matter how many times you push it aside, the one that shows up in your quiet moments and your honest conversations with yourself, why, in the face of that specific dream, have you decided that now you need a guarantee? Let me tell you about faith. Not the word, as it is casually used, but faith as a living, breathing, active force. Faith is not passive. Faith is not sitting quietly and hoping things work out. Faith is the decision to build the ship while standing in the ocean. Faith is the commitment to plant the seed even when the ground looks frozen. Faith is the audacity to speak your future into existence before a single piece of evidence supports it. And the extraordinary thing about faith, the thing that makes it unlike any other human capacity, is that it creates its own evidence. When you act from faith, the universe reorganizes itself around your movement. People appear, opportunities surface, resources emerge, connections form. Not because the universe owed you anything, but because movement attracts what stillness repels. But faith without a definite purpose is simply restlessness. It is energy without direction. It is a powerful engine with no steering wheel. You must know, with absolute, specific, uncompromising clarity, what it is you are building and why. Not approximately, not generally, not some version that sounds good to other people. You must know your purpose the way you know your own name. You must be able to state it clearly, feel it deeply, and return to it consistently, especially on the days when nothing is working and everything inside you is screaming to quit. Because those days will come. Let me promise you that, with full confidence. The days will come when your plan falls apart, when the person you trusted lets you down, when the investment does not return, when the door you knocked on does not open, when you pour everything you have into something and it gives you back nothing but silence. Those days are not anomalies. They are not signs that you chose the wrong path. They are the price of admission for anyone who dares to build something that matters. Every meaningful thing ever created in human history was created through, not despite, repeated encounters with failure, rejection, and loss. The question is never whether the storm will come. The question is whether you have built something inside yourself that the storm cannot destroy. And this is where we must talk about what you allow into your inner world. Your mind is not a passive receiver of whatever life sends you. Your mind is a creative instrument. It has the capacity to take the raw material of any circumstance, failure, humiliation, loss, betrayal, devastation, and transmute it into something extraordinary. Every painful experience you have ever survived contains within it the seed of a lesson, a strength, a capability, a perspective that you could not have acquired any other way. The question is not whether that seed exists. It always exists. The question is whether you will stop long enough in your pain to look for it. Most people do not look. Most people take the pain at face value and allow it to write the final sentence of their story. They let the rejection become the verdict. They let the failure become the identity. They let the difficult season become the permanent forecast. And so they stop building. They pack up the dream in a box, label it unrealistic, and place it on the highest shelf where it can be stored safely out of reach of further disappointment. Do not be most people. Most people live lives of quiet compromise. Most people die with their music still inside them. Most people look back from the final chapter of their existence and grieve not the risks they took, but the ones they did not take. Not the failures they experienced, but the attempts they never made. Not the dreams that were impossible, but the ones they decided were impossible before they ever truly tried. You are not reading these words by accident. You are here because something in you is still alive. Something is still burning. Something has not given up no matter how many times the rest of you has tried to convince it to. That something, that persistent, irrational, beautiful, stubborn insistence that your life can be more, is the most valuable thing you possess. Guard it, feed it, protect it from every voice, internal and external, that tries to reduce it to silence, and then build. Build without the guarantee. Build without the applause. Build without the certainty. Build in the dark. Build in the rain. Build when you are tired. Build when you are scared. Build when no one believes in you. Build when even you are not fully sure you believe in yourself. Because the act of building is itself the transformation. You do not become the person capable of the dream and then build it. You become that person through the act of building it. Every brick you lay in uncertainty makes you stronger. Every day you choose your purpose over your comfort makes you more unshakable. Every time you refuse to quit when every reason says you should, you are becoming something that cannot be broken. And here is what I want you to understand with every cell in your being. The world needs what you are building, not eventually, not someday, now. The dream in you is not an accident of imagination. It is a signal. It is a calling. It is the universe pointing at a specific gap that only your specific contribution can fill. When you delay, when you wait for the guarantee, when you decide the risk is too great, that gap remains. And the world is poorer for it. You did not come this far to live small. You did not survive everything you have survived to play it safe. You did not carry that dream through every storm of your life just to abandon it on the shore when the water got cold. Build anyway. Build because the dream deserves it. Build because you deserve it. Build because the only genuine security that exists in this uncertain world is the security of knowing that you gave everything you had to something that mattered. Life will give you no guarantees, but it will give you something better. It will give you the raw, unscripted, extraordinary experience of becoming everything you were always capable of being, on the other side of every risk you were afraid to take. We began with a question. What if the moment life stopped giving you guarantees was actually the moment life started giving you something more powerful? And now, having traveled through every principle, every truth, every challenge in this speech, I want you to carry the answer with you permanently. The answer is this: the guarantee was never the point. The guarantee was the excuse. The life you want, the legacy you are meant to leave, the person you are capable of becoming, none of it lives on the safe side of certainty. All of it lives on the other side of a decision. One decision, the decision to build anyway. Your desire is real, your purpose is valid, your capacity is greater than anything that has ever tried to stop you. The only remaining question is whether you will choose, starting today, to act on that truth regardless of what life does or does not promise you in return. Stop waiting. Start building. The world is ready for what you carry.